Bliss, and this is The Secret, How to Fight Child Protective Services and Win. Our next call is Ashley from California. Ashley, did you have a story to tell or a question to ask?
A question, but a little bit of a backstory to go with it.
Okay.
I've been trying to move my daughter home who does not have a CPS case. She was staying with my parents who took her because I had become homeless and everything before I actually got my CPS case with my son. But anyways, once I got on my feet and I had an apartment, got stable and everything, and a car, I moved my daughter back home with me. Well, when I did that, an emergency social worker showed up to investigate allegations from I didn't tell you, my son has a CPS case. And my social worker, when I moved my daughter in with me, she made a report to an emergency caseworker that I had moved my daughter in with me while I was currently facing termination of rights for my son, and I was failing to complete domestic violence classes and failing the drug test. So when that emergency worker showed up at my house, she told me what the allegations were, and I showed her proof of all my drug testing slips, all current, showing that I was testing and I was not using drugs. And I showed her my certificate for my domestic violence class that I had, in fact, actually completed it. So the emergency worker closed that investigation and put that the allegations were unfounded.
Mm-hmm.
But she still told me that, and she told my family that my daughter had to go back to my parents until I was done with trial for my son. And once my case was closed, then I could have her back. But I just don't know, why would I have to give my daughter back to them if all the allegations were unfounded? Because she told me that if I didn't give her back, that she would come back with a warrant and make my daughter dependent of the state and open a CPS case on her, because I'm not allowed to have any kids in my custody while I'm facing a possible termination of rights.
You know, it's a very gray area, Ashley. If you've done everything in your son's case, what I would suggest is that you talk to your attorney, or email your attorney, even better, and request that that attorney file a 388 petition so that you can get your son back in your custody, and then there will be no problem having the daughter back in your custody as well. Is that
okay. Yeah, well, I talked to my attorney yesterday. We are going to file a 388.
Mm-hmm.
I do go to trial in April for the termination of rights,
okay.
And the reason is because of, they said I took too long to complete domestic violence classes.
Okay, hold on a second. Where is your son?
He's in foster care, but he's placed with my aunt.
Do you get along with your aunt?
Somewhat.
Okay, is your aunt trying to adopt your child, your son?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, so this is a problem. What you need to do is you need to file that 388, and you need to ask for three things. Number one, you need to ask for the child to be returned to you. Number two, you need to request more family reunification services. And number three, you need to ask for more liberalized visitation. Okay?
Okay.
You can use the evidence that the child, the daughter, is not living with you as a means to try to get the son back. Because they decided not to file, they found it unfounded, because you indeed have done these things. All right?
Yeah.
And there's it gets a little tricky with timing, like when did you actually complete this, and how long has the child been out of your home, that type of thing. All right? But if your attorney told you, if your court-appointed attorney told you about the 388, he told you what you need to do. And I'm just telling you the three things you want to make sure that you ask for, along with anything else he or she suggests, okay?
Okay.
And you want to make sure your court-appointed attorney files that with the court ASAP. Because if you're a 366.26 hearing to terminate your rights, if that's coming up, if you don't file the 388 in time, you're going to have a problem. The other thing that you should do, someone just reminded me, you should file a motion for a bonding study with your son.
Oh yeah, we did that. So my lawyer is scared that it would work against me just because she said in her history she hasn't really seen them work
Okay.
in the favor of a client.
Okay, well, this is what you do. You get your
Hmm.
own psychologist to do a bonding study, all right?
Okay.
And, I know, a handful of guys and gals who do this type of work or these types of evaluations. I don't have the list in front of me, but if you give me a call at my office and leave me a message, I can have somebody get back to you with a handful of names. Now, most of these people are down in, Southern California. And I
Yeah, I'm in
notice,
Sacramento.
right, I notice you're another part of the state, but, you can still contact them and, you can still talk to them, or maybe they can refer you to someone in the Sacramento
Okay.
area. Does that make sense?
Yes, it
Okay.
does make sense.
Okay, so 388 and bonding study, that's what you got to get to have any chance. And, maybe your family should talk to your aunt about trying to take your kid away from you. I just had this conversation with someone today. Do you know that when people adopt children, they think they're going to get paid until the child turns 18? Not true. They're evaluated again after 2 years. Even though the social worker might tell the foster parent, hey, you're going to get money until they turn 18. That's not true. They're evaluated
Hmm.
after 2 years and they could lose funding. All right. I've
Yeah.
had people contact me, foster parents who adopted, and say, hey, I want to sue the social worker. They lied to me. All right.
Right.
So,
Well,
but
and my aunt told.
your
Can I
aunt,
say this? She asked me to make sure that I fight it and appeal it and ask for a trial because she wants as much time um, as a foster kid to pay for his school and everything. And
right,
I was
right.
offended, of course, by that. But
Of course,
I mean,
of course.
okay.
Money has a lot to do with this entire process. If
Hmm.
your aunt became legal guardian, all right, and not adoptive parent, she would be paid until the child turns 18. But
Hmm.
but everyone's pushing adoption, and that's the reason why. They don't want to have to pay these people for 18 years.
Okay. Well, I asked my son's adoption social worker why we couldn't do guard the other day, and she said that they just do the most permanent plan, which is for his case was adoption. I said, well, you guys that seems like the most permanent plan for everybody. She goes, no, we evaluate it. Guardianship's not an option.
Right.
But
Go.
my lawyer yesterday told me she's going to try to if work see if they do want to terminate my rights, see if she can work with them to get guardianship instead of adoption, so that way I still have rights and can still fight for him.
The only way to do that is with evidence. The best evidence to try to make that plan go through is a bonding study.
Okay,
Okay?
gotcha.
Now,
Thank
social
you.
social workers, they push adoptions for a lot of different reasons. They say it's the best interest of the children. I say it's because of money. But I'm telling you what you and your attorney should do, or at least look at. Hey, Ashley, I want
Thank
to
you.
thank you for calling and thank you for listening. In a few weeks or a couple months, whenever this thing goes down, call us back and give us an update. All right?
I will definitely keep you guys updated. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ashley. Bye bye.
Bye.
All right, we're going to have to take our next break. This is The Secret: How to Fight Child Protective Services and Win.